Welcome all. We will look into weighted average cost of capital, WACC. Initially, we will look into the definition of weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital, or WACC, is a calculation of a firm's cost of capital in which each category of capital is proportionally weighted. It is the rate that a company is expected to pay on average to all its security holders to finance its assets. It is a financial ratio that calculates a company's cost of financing and acquiring assets by comparing the debt and equity structure of the business. In other words, it measures the weight of debt and the true cost of borrowing money or raising funds through equity to finance new capital purchases and expansions based on the company's current level of debt and equity structure. Management typically uses this ratio to decide whether the company should use debt or equity to finance new purchases. This ratio is very comprehensive because it averages all sources of capital, including long-term debt, common stock, preferred stock, and bonds, to measure an average cost of borrowing funds. This is extremely complex. Figuring out the cost of debt is pretty simple. Bonds and long-term debt are issued with stated interest rates that can be used to compute their overall cost. On the other hand, equity, like common and preferred shares, does not have a readily available stated price on it. Instead, we must compute an equity price before we apply it into the equation. This is the reason why many investors and creditors tend not to focus on this measurement as the only capital price indicator. Estimating the cost of equity is based on several different assumptions that can vary between investors. Also, a firm's WACC increases as the beta and rate of return on equity increase. As an increase in WACC denotes a decrease in valuation and an increase in risk. Why WACC matters? Here, we will look into the importance of WACC. It is important for a company to know its weighted average cost of capital as a way to gauge the expense of funding future projects. The lower a company's WACC, the cheaper it is for a company to fund new projects. A company looking to lower its WACC may decide to increase its use of cheaper financing sources. Here we have some of the uses of WACC. It may be used for discounting cash flows in determination of net present value for investment analysis. Some other firms may use WACC to check if the investment projects that are available are worthwhile to take on. Security analysts use WACC when assessing and choosing investments. WACC also helps determine the feasibility of expansion as well as mergers. This is a table showing WACC in major soft drink industry. We have listed some of the major companies in soft drink industry here, like Coca-Cola, National, PepsiCo, Cadbury, etc. In the case of Coca-Cola, the equity is 89% and debt is 11%. WACC and tax rate are 9.32% and 0.34% respectively. National equity is 83%, debt is 17%, WACC is 8.04% and tax rate is 0.38%. Taking the case of PepsiCo, equity is 82%, debt is 18%, while WACC and tax rate are 9.27% and 0.32% respectively. Looking into the case of Cadbury, we can see that equity being 89%, debt is 11%, and WACC 9.32% and then the tax rate is 0.60. Now we will look into the calculation of WACC. To calculate WACC, initially we have to multiply cost of each capital component by its proportional weight and then take the sum of the results. The WACC formula is calculated by dividing the market value of the firm's equity by the total market value of the company's equity, which is then multiplied by the cost of equity. This is then added to the term where market value of the firm's debt is divided by total market value of the firm's financing multiplied by cost of debt, which is again multiplied by 1 minus the corporate income tax rate. So the equation looks like WACC equal to E by V into RE plus D by V into RD into 1 minus TC, where E is the market value of the firm's equity, V is the total market value of the firm's financing, which is calculated as E plus D, RE is the cost of equity, D is the market value of the firm's debt, RD is the cost of debt, and TC is the corporate tax rate. The ratio E by V is called as the percentage of financing equity and D by V is the ratio which is called the percentage of financing debt. Before looking into the example, we can say that the calculation of WACC is not simple. It is pretty complex because there are so many different pieces involved. But there are only two elements that are really confusing. That is establishing the cost of equity and the cost of debt. Once you have figured these numbers out, then calculating WACC is a breeze. Cost of equity. The cost of equity represented by RE is hard to measure precisely because issuing stock is free to company. A company doesn't pay interest on outstanding shares. In addition, each share of stock does not have a specified value or price. It simply issues them to investors for whatever investors are willing to pay for them at any given time. When the market is high, stock prices are high. When the market is low, stock prices are low. So there is no stable number to use. So how to measure the cost of equity is a big question. Here we need to look at how investors buy the stocks. They purchase stocks with the expectation of a return on their investment based on the level of risk. This expectation establishes the required rate of return that the company must pay its investors, or the investors will most likely sell their shares and then invest in another company. If too many investors sell their shares, the stock price could fall and decrease the value of the company. As I said this is somewhat confusing. Like, think of this way, the cost of equity is the amount of money a company must spend to meet the investor's required rate of return and keep the stock price steady. So that is how we determine the value of cost of equity, RE. Now we have to determine the cost of debt, RD. Compared with the cost of equity, this is fairly simple to calculate. We simply use the market interest rate or the actual interest rate that the company is currently paying on its obligations. Keep in mind that the interest expenses have additional tax implications. Interest is typically deductible, so we can also take into account the amount of tax savings the company will be able to take advantage of by making its interest payments. And this is represented in our equation by RD into 1 minus TC. Now we will look into the example. Assume newly formed corporation ABC needs to raise rupees 10 lakh in capital so it can buy office buildings and the equipment needed to conduct its business. The company issues and sells 6 lakh shares of stock at rupees 100. Shareholders expect a return of 6% on their investment. Corporation ABC then sells 4,000 bonds for rupees 1,000. The people who bought those bonds expect a 5% return. Market value corporate tax rate is 35%. With this given information, we have to calculate Corporation ABC's weighted average cost of capital, WACC. So, initially, we know that E is the market value of the firm's equity. E can be calculated by multiplying 6,000 by 100 because 6,000 shares of stock are sold at rupees 100. So, market value of the firm's equity is 6,000 into 100, that is 6 lakh. Now, market value of the firm's debt D is calculated as 400 into 1000 because 400 bonds are sold for rupees 1000. So it is 400 into 4000 and that comes out to be 4 lakh. Now we have V, which is the total market value of the firm's financing. This can be calculated by adding 6 lakh and 4 lakh. 6 lakh plus 4 lakh gives 10 lakh. Then we have RE, that is cost of equity. Here the cost of equity is 6% because the shareholders expect a return of 6% on their investment. RD, which is the cost of debt, is 5% because the people who bought those bonds expect a 5% return. The corporate tax rate TC is 35%. By simply substituting these values in the equation of WACC, which is E by V into RE plus D by V into RD into 1 minus TC, we can calculate the WACC. By substituting the values, we get 6 lakh by 10 lakh into 6% plus 4 lakh by 10 lakh into 5% into 1 minus 35%. This comes out to be 0.049, that is 4.9%. So we can say that Corporation ABC's weighted average cost of capital is 4.9%. This means that for every rupees 1 contribution ABC raises from investors, it must pay its investors almost rupees 0.05 in return. For instance, Corporation ABC may issue more bonds instead of stock because it can get the financing more cheaply. Because this would increase the proportion of debt to equity, and because the debt is cheaper than the equity, the company's weighted average cost of capital would decrease. Thank you.